Hello and welcome everyone to this video on how to get started in 2D image roleplay. Since the devs will not reveal their voices in this video, I'll be the one who will narrate this for them. Anyways, in this video, I'll be going to teach you the basics of how to morph into an image, change the settings, teleport between places, and others. So, without further ado, let's get started. First off, let's go to the settings. Here, you can see the basic settings that you can change to your liking. Let's start with general. In general, we currently have one setting, which is to set the time. This changes the client-side time and will not take effect on the entire server. For instance, if you want the time to stay at noon, then just select noon. If you want night, just set night. But for me, I'm gonna set it to noon because that's the brightest time of the day. Okay, now for sound. This controls the volume of each sound that is in this experience. For instance, if you don't want to get distracted or you are sensitive to loud volumes, you can turn the props volume down. If you don't, this is useful when you are streaming and you don't want copyrighted or inappropriate music to be playing in the background. Like players are playing like copyrighted music and you're streaming, you don't want your video to get taken down because of copyright. The music and sound effects volume, in the other hand, are here just to control the interface's sounds. For example, if I turn the sound effects volume to 0, you'll hear nothing. Like when I go over the buttons, it has no sound because I turned on the sound colors down. And music turns down the music volume. Like if I open the Morph screen, you hear background music, but if I turn it down, you'll hear nothing. So 15. Now we're gonna go to chat customizations. These settings control the style of your chat. Like if you're from another image game like the Pony Project, for example, you are quite familiar with these settings. First is the chat font. This setting changes the current font of your chat message. Do note that these settings will not take effect right before you close the settings. Like for instance, if I set the font to like this for example, and close the settings, you can see that if I type in the word, if I type here, you see the font changes. Like here's the one before I set the font, and here's after. Now, to, now we're on the advanced customizations. If you have bought membership like gold or platinum, you can see these settings show up. By default, you can't. Instead, it'll show up prompt telling you to buy gold. But since I'm a special person here and I got free gold membership, these settings show up. Now, let's go to the chat color. The chat color changes this part, the message part of your message. So if I set this to red and close it, then you will you will you will see that when I type in like this message is red, for example, you can see that You can see that the message color, the chat color, has been changed to red. Now, now the name color. The name color changes the text color of your name, like this part of the message. So, if I set this to green or blue, let's set to blue. You can see that when I close the settings and type a message, you can see that my name color is set to blue. Now the miscellaneous. There's currently one action in miscellaneous right here, is the rejoin experience button. What it does is this button lets you rejoin the experience in case something goes wrong, like assets failing to load or the people list not loading, for example. Well, you can just click on this button and it'll let you rejoin the experience. It is also useful if you want to server hop as well, if there were multiple servers in this game. But since this game is small and it only has one, then you'll just rejoin. Then it'll just rejoin you to the same server like as the one you're in right now. And but I'm not gonna do it in this video though, because I'm not I'm not gonna do it in this video. And finally, stats. This shows information about how long you're active in this experience and server information. This also shows the current version of the server you're in as well. Like right now it's version 2.0.78, which is the 78th revision of this game. Now let's go to map. Now now we're on the map. To open the map, you can just click on this button and this shows up. You can switch to different maps by clicking on these arrow buttons on the top row. Like here we currently have 4 maps right now: the lobby, city, the back rooms, and chill zone. For instance, let's go to the city. And as you can see, you get places to teleport to. Let's go to a restaurant, for example. And here we are, the restaurant. Now, if you want, now here is one that most people are asking me about. Like most people are asking the devs about. Like how do they, how can they get props, or how they can, or how will they donate to the devs? So, so let me answer those questions for you. If you want to get props, buy passes, or donate to the devs, you can click this button. This shows up the market. Here you can see 3 categories: props, passes, and donate. First is props. Props are like tools that you can use for role-playing. Let us first get an air horn, for example. Or maybe a burger, because we're at the restaurant right now. And I'm not going to go all of the props in this video, for example. I'm not going to do all of the props or else this video will be too long, but here it is. Here's our air horn. I set the props volume down to 0, that's why it's not working. Let me turn it back up. Okay, here it is, our air horn. Okay, now the passes. Passes let you get additional benefits in this experience. Gold membership, for example, gives you additional chat customization as I mentioned before. Like, gold membership costs 420, silver membership costs 200, and platinum costs 727. But I'm not gonna buy these because this is an alt account and currently has no money. And finally, donate. Donate lets you give the developers a certain amount of Robux. If you would like to support their work, then go ahead. Now these three buttons here are the action buttons. The first one is glow, which lights up your character. Sit down as the name suggests, sits your character down, and sprint is to run. You can also hold shift to sprint as well. Now the main part of this experience, which is Morph. We have three sections here: the library, image preview, and customize. Let's start with the customize section. Here's the image ID. The image ID is a unique identifier that resembles an image from the Roblox library. You can type any image you want, even if the asset type is not even an image, like a model, for example. Like, you can also favorite the image to use it for later by clicking on the star icon that is right next to the image ID field. There it is. The width and height changes the width and the height of the image. The width changes how long your image is, and the height changes how tall your image is. Gold members get a maximum size of 30, like mine right here, since I'm a special member of the group. Platinum members get a maximum size of 40, kind of like the big game pass in the Pony Project. The roleplay name changes the name of your character you want to morph to. Like, for example, I've already set one from before, but let me change it to a different one, like this. And the bio is the roleplay bio changes the bio that is under your roleplay name, kind of like the about me section. Like, for example, now the advanced option here is to hide your image ID. This option may be useful if someone is trying to copy you and you don't want them to use the image you're using. One disclaimer is that your image ID may be logged for the sake of safety and in case you're trying to morph into an inappropriate image, like a bypass, for example, which is bad and it violates Roblox's rules. Now first, the library. You can search for any character you want to morph into. Let's search for Hatsune Miku, for example. Since I searched this before, it just quickly loads. So as you can see, we get images of Hatsune Miku. Let's go to the next page. We can click these two buttons right here to change the page. Now, as you can see, we can get now the images. Now you can change to this and click Morph, and there it is, our image. Now, here are the favorites. Here you can see the images that you've favorited before. Here's the one that I added earlier in this video, like this image. And if you want to add more, you can do it as well. As I mentioned before, just click on the star beside the ID and you're done. Like, let me favorite this one here, and this one. Like, if you type an ID manually, of course, it'll take a while to favorite it because it was checking online to get information. And finally, the recents. The recents are the images that you've used before, you've used them recently. By default, you get 5. This, and this. 5 preset images. These are curated, these are carefully picked, curated, and selected by the Team Teriffic staff. It'll keep adding as you keep morphing into a new image. Take note that the maximum images that will show up in the resets at a time is 100. If you don't want your image to lose, if you don't want to lose your image, if you don't want to lose your recently morphed image while your recents are full, you can favorite it and keep it forever, right until you're unfavorited, of course. Now, the people button. This button toggles the people list. If you're on mobile and want to vote kick somebody, you can just click on this button here, but it's hidden by default, to save screen space. And last but not the least, vote kick. Vote kicking is pretty simple to do. What you'll need to do is click on a person from the people list, and it'll expand. Once it's expanded, you can click vote kick. During a vote kick process, you can either accept or decline. Accepting it means it increases the chance to approve a vote kick, meaning meaning that the person was forced out of the experience, and declining does nothing. It just goes on and declining does nothing, and it just goes on and signifies that you don't want the person to be vote kicked from the game. Like here, let me accept it, and it approves. Like the person was forced out of the game. And that's about it. These are the steps of how to get started into the image roleplay, and I hope you found this video useful. Anyways, if you like this video, click the like button, leave a comment below if you have thoughts, and share this video with your friends to get this experience, to make this experience popular. And also, I will put the experiences link in the description for you to try out and visit. And thank you for watching, and have a good morning.